Well, that was a bit of a marathon with all of the monophthong symbols. The diphthong symbols are much more reasonable, and they consist of what I said were the three true diphthongs, which are I, and you'll see the I is written with what I call a typewriter A, ow, also with the typewriter A, and oi. So these would be in words like pie, pow, and poi. So there I gave you a minimal set, all starting with P, showing you that these three diphthongs are in fact unique. Now, what other people sometimes call diphthongs are A, like in pay, or O. Sometimes people call O a diphthong if it gets a real W at the end. So Po, the Teletubby, would be an example of that. And British people enjoy calling a J and a U a diphthong. So like pew would be a P, like a pew in church, plus the JU diphthong. Americans typically don't. And so for my purposes, we would have the three true diphthongs. The A and the O we'll call fake diphthongs, and the U we'll treat as a J and a U, because in English, in American English, it doesn't behave at all like a diphthong itself. Okay, now we've done the vowels. Let us, so we'll ignore these for the moment up there. Let's try these vowels that I have underlined. So the first one, vampires and mosquitoes agree. Blood is good food. So blood is good food. Spelling, remarkably similar. Pronunciation, quite different. So blood is going to have the wedge, blood. And then good has our pudding, good. And then in food, it's the regular oo. So blood is good food. Okay, next one you try. The white dove dove out of the nest. So think about what vowels you would use for that before I tell you. The white dove dove out of the nest. Okay, so first dove, that's going to be the wedge, and dove is going to be the O, dove. Okay, 3, we live near the live broadcast site. So live and live. Think about the vowel that you would use for each of those. We live, if, near the live broadcast site. So if and I. Last one here. The girl with a bow took a bow. So bow and bow. So bow, like in your hair, would just be the O. And bow would be the same as this diphthong, the ow. So bow. So the girl with a bow took a bow. As promised, we will be practicing our vowels in some different ways that I hope will hold your interest. The first one to practice the vowels is with some limericks. So think about for yourself, do you know what a limerick is? Have you written a limerick? What does it sound like? So a limerick is a funny poem with 5 lines. Line 1 is going to set the scene for you, introduce the characters, usually 8 syllables in that line. Line 2 says some more. It's also about 8 syllables, rhyming with line 1. Then lines 3 and 4 build some tension. Those are each about 6 syllables and they rhyme with each other. And then line 5 gives you the outcome, and that rhymes with 1 and 2. And that's also about 8 syllables. So let's look at a few limericks that I've got. and we'll talk about what the vowels are that are making the rhymes. So here's a good one. There once lived a boy near the ocean who thought he'd found magical potion. He took a big drink and started to think it tasted just like suntan lotion. Okay, so we've got ocean, potion, and lotion rhyming, 1, 2, and 5. And then for he took a big drink and started to think, so that's 3 and 4, and they're rhyming, ink. Here's another one. Whoops. I can't read this one, the text is too small, but it's a lady, it's about a girl from Greenwich whose garment was bordered with spinach. And same thing, we've got 1, 2, and 5 rhyming, and 3 and 4 also rhyming. Okay, now here are the ones where I'll ask you to do a little bit of work. Okay, so a flea and a fly and a flew were caught, so what could they do? Said the fly, let us flee. Let us fly, said the flea. So they flew through a flaw in the flue. All right, so definitely a lot of stuff going on with FL and vowels. So here for our first limerick, we're just going to do the vowels that are the rhymes at the ends of each line. So flew, that's going to be an oo. What could they do? Also, that's an oo, as we expect. Then the third and fourth lines, let us flee, and said the flea, that's going to be the E vowel. So flew, do, and flew again, and this is for flee and flee. Okay, so lots of variation in spelling, but oo and E in the phonetic transcription. All right, let's take a look at the second one. There once was a pauper named Meg who accidentally broke her leg. She slipped on the ice, not once but thrice. Take no pity on her, I beg. Okay, so we've got Meg, leg, and beg. Think about what vowel you would use there for Meg, beg, and leg. And I hope you come up with the epsilon. Meg, leg, and beg. Now for ice and thrice, that's actually a diphthong. The diphthong that we have in the word pie. So we would use that. So for the ends of the third and fourth lines, it's I. All right, here's another one. This is number 3. A mouse in her room woke Miss Dowd, who was frightened and screamed very loud. Then the happy thought hit her to scare off the critter. She sat up in bed and meowed. Okay, so we've got dowd, loud, and kind of in a funny way, meowed. So that's ow, the ow sound. And that is also one of our diphthongs, our true diphthongs. It's the ow. And then they really play in the third and fourth lines. They have hitter and critter rhyming. So that's a lot of fun. And that plays on the fact that in English, a T, like hit her, kind of becomes hitter. And that uses the sound in the middle there, as in the middle of critter and hitter. We call that a flap. It's a very short little D. So the rhyme, that's the symbol for the flap. Critter and hitter both would be represented like that. Okay, here's another one for us. This is my favorite one, I think. Okay, so for number 4, there was a young hunter named Shepherd who was eaten for lunch by a leopard. Said the leopard, egad, you'd be tastier, lad, if you had been salted and peppered. Okay, so we've got shepherd, leopard, peppered. So that would be transcribed eppered, right? So shepherd, leopard, peppered for all of those. And then for our third and fourth lines, egad and lad. So that will be a with the D, add, egad and lad. Okay, number 5 here. There was a young lass from Whittier who thought she would look kind of prettier if she got a tattoo of an entire zoo and all we can do now is pity her? Okay, so this is playing again. Wittier, prettier, pitier. Okay, so that I would transcribe it, wittier, prettier, pitier. And then tattoo and zoo, both of those would just end with an oo sound. So there you go. So we have had a lot of fun with vowels. I've given you a lot of examples of vowels. And what would be a really good idea to do right now is to go back to your chart of the symbols, look again at the symbols and the examples that are there, and make sure that you have examples that really work for you, examples that make good sense for you, examples that will help you remember the symbol and the sound. So you might do a little bit of editing on that chart, make some notes, but it is important for you to make it your own so you feel like you can really use it. And now we're going to practice making a variety of vowels, using a variety of vowels, making a variety of words in similar frames. And this has proven to be very helpful for people in learning the sounds that each of the vowel symbols makes, because it's a little repetitive, but it's fun too. I will go through some of these. I will say the sounds as they combine. And if you think it's a real word, you should say ding, 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 that it's a real word. If you think it's not a real word, say bzz. Okay, let me give you some examples here. So this is really building minimal sets for ourselves to better understand the vowels, get better at using them. So I give you a list of vowels to use: e, I, a, u, o, a, and a. Not quite everything, but just about. And then I give you a frame in which to put that vowel. So these two frames, the H vowel and D, or the B vowel and D, are two excellent frames in English because they are ones that allow you to pop in the greatest number of vowels and get actual words from them. So let me show you, and you can practice doing ding, ding, ding and zzz if you would like. Okay, so H vowel D, my first vowel is E. Okay, heed, ding, 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 that's a word, heed. Okay, next one, hid. Yes, that's also a word, ding, ding, ding. Now, you're going to see here where there needs to be some creativity and kind of free your mind for this. So with the vowel A, what's written as E, okay, hayed. Well, I come from a farm. People across the street were cutting the grass, doing haying, so they hayed. So that's also a word, ding, ding, ding. Next one's easy, head, ding, ding, ding. Next one, had. Yes, past tense of have. Then we get to our oo, who'd, like who'd be interested. Okay, this is where you need to expand the range of what you're thinking about as a word. Next one, so who'd, hood, put on your hood. Hoed, again, farming background. We did some hoeing, we hoed. Herd, cows. And then HUD, Housing and Urban Development abbreviation. So you see, we could get just about everything into that, every vowel into that frame. So that really is a way of illustrating for us that those vowels are all different. They, being put in that same position gives you different words. Okay, so now just to beat you on the head with this, let's look at the same activity, but using the frame B vowel D. Okay, so we can get bead, bid, bade, bed, bad, booed, then bud. Not good. We don't have an English word, bud, that I know. Bode, bod, bod, bird, and bud. So you see there we also get quite a few of these. So I hope this is enough to illustrate for you. Let me go to the next page, which gives some for you to do. Okay, I will explain these, how to do it, like before, but I'm not going to do it all for you. I want you to do it yourself. So we've got the same set of vowels, e, a, u, o, a, and a, to put in, for example, feed, geen, well, that's not a word, lead, skeen, that's not a word, and breed, that's a word. So go through, pop in all the vowels. It might make your head want to explode a little, but try to free yourself, because sometimes you'll find like, oh, that's the past tense of something, or oh, that's actually the contraction of something, and you'll see that you really can find many, many words in this. And here's another set for you. This time I added a few more consonants in for your experimental fun. So same set of vowels, but we've got, so the first one you'd get a word like tint or tent or taint. Keep going for yourself. S vowel T, R vowel T, R vowel, and then BD. So like ribbed or rubbed. So there, that D might just represent the past tense, ED. Then SP and T, and then W and D. So find as many words as you can that fit in there. Now, I mentioned a little bit before about how it's very interesting that some sounds have restricted distributions. And we're going to find that with the diphthongs, there's some weird stuff about what you can put after a diphthong or not. The diphthongs actually kind of create some restrictions on what consonants follow. So for this set, I want you to play with the diphthongs. Don't be discouraged if you find that it's just the I diphthong that you're really able to find lots of examples for. The ow and the oi are a little bit more limited in English. I mean, give it a try, but if you say, what was wrong with me? I couldn't find too many words with oi. Well, there aren't too many words with oi. Okay, so I give you some final consonants there. I give you D, N, M, B, L, T. So see what you can, and here I encourage you to put on any consonant at the beginning that you like. So for example, the first one would be words rhyming with I'd, out, and oid. So like for oid, void might be a word, or I'd, for I'd, it might be ride. So put on whatever consonant you need to get a word. I'm trying not to be too restrictive because there are fewer of these. So give this a try and see where you get. I'm predicting that B is going to give you some trouble, but see what you can do to prove me wrong. All right. In the interest of continued practice with our consonant and vowel symbols, I would like to draw our attention to a few literary devices that play with consonants and vowels in a way that we can use to practice. So, alliteration. I imagine you've heard of alliteration. This is when you repeat the first consonants of words. This is something you find in tongue twisters a great deal. And it's also in older styles of poetry with alliteration. Consonants. So that's a poetic device where you repeat the final consonants of words to kind of give a similar, it's not totally a rhyme, but it's using the final consonants to give some kind of a feeling to the poetry. But assonance is what I want to talk about right now. And that's when vowels are repeated in words that are close together. Sometimes people call this internal rhyme. So it can be a little bit hard to spot, but it is also kind of sly, and it can help to extend a particular type of feeling throughout a whole poem. So we will look at some lines and see what symbols we would use to represent the sounds that we find in the lines. Okay, Edgar Allan Poe the bells. So in the word bell, we would have the sound So let's keep that in mind as we go through. Hear the mellow wedding bells. Golden bells. What a world of happiness their harmony foretells. So he really used a lot of in there. Now we go to the next one. From the molten golden notes. Wow. Lots of O. Okay, molten golden notes. And then we've got at the melancholy menace of their tone. So melancholy menace of their tone, the O. Every sound that floats from the rust within their throats is a groan. So he really has used and O a great deal in that poem. Here are some more individual lines that I've picked out that we can look at the vowels in. So from Adrienne Rich, we've got stir the nerves. So that's the vowel, which looks like the 3 with the R, Letters from the dead. So that also uses the letters, dead. And then she has skeletons and petals, also with the Sylvia Plath wrote strips of tin foil winking like people. So strips, tin, wink, that's all with the And E. Cummings, on a proud round cloud in white high night. So that hits us a little bit more on the head, but proud, ow, proud round cloud in white high night. Now, how about some more popular song lyrics where we find assonance actually? So from Eminem, we've got fire at the private eye hired to pry in my business. So that is a lot of I. Fire, pry, high, hired, my. Will Smith in his song Miami, he has Dominican women with cinnamon tans. So he's really using it. Dominican women with cinnamon tans. And then Thin Lizzy, I must confess that in my quest I felt depressed and restless. Okay, they show an affinity for Confess, quest, felt, depressed, restless. So this is something that shows up in a lot of places, and nicely enough, we can use our symbols to represent it. Oh, here's another. This is kind of a depressing poem, but it also uses assonance. This is called Breaking Stones. Out in the dusk, day after day, breaking stones, summer and winter, aching bones. So day and break and ache and bones. So it uses the A and the O there. And she's got some more. Under the tarmac of every road, every motorway, lie the old tracks and the stones they broke, the stones they sold. So really a lot of O there. Winter and summer stones for bread and bread for stones, till their old bones ached. So also some in that one. Here is a poem with more assonance that you can, it's a lovely poem, and I will include the link so you can listen to that as time allows you, but it's a good one. Okay, now we are at the point where we're finishing up. So link winks, this is something new that I've added to the class. So if you haven't heard of a link wink before, it is a rhyming word puzzle. So you get 3 clues to 3 words that rhyme. So here's one to give you an example. A homeless cat or dog, a blue bird, and a beacon of light from the sun. So try to decide what 3 rhyming words will satisfy those clues. Homeless cat or dog, a blue bird, and a beacon of light from the sun. So I hope you say stray, jay, and ray. So with all of our work on the vowels, you can imagine we're going to do a few more of these, and then I'm going to ask you to write a few of your own. Okay, here's number 2. This happens when you get cut. You cannot exceed this limit driving, and to go first to show the way. So it happens when you get cut. You can't go over this when you're driving, and to go first, leading the way. Bleed, speed, lead. Okay, next one. Opposite of difficult, windy, and feeling sick to your stomach. Okay, I hope you got easy, breezy, and queasy. Number 4, outer layer of a watermelon, to turn the key on a music box, and the back legs of an animal. Rind, wind, hind. Okay, next one. Miss America wears this. It's the opposite of a smile. And this might happen if you don't wear a life jacket. So this one is crown, frown, and drown. Okay, one more for you. I'm sure you've got the idea now. Opposite of girl, something you play with, and what you make tofu from. So that'll be boy, toy, and soy. Oh, really? I do have another one. A root vegetable, a bird that might talk, and a weasel-like animal. So this will be carrot, parrot, ferret. Now, as we wind down for this class, I'd like you to choose some of the vowels from the transcription sheet and write a few link winks to challenge your classmates. My family and I find it's a lot of fun. So I hope you will enjoy it too. That is it for today's class. You will find the homework to do up on Canvas for you. And ask questions of your friends. You can email me. I hope I'll receive the email. I'm not sure. But I will see you soon. Bye-bye.